A very good evening to all my dear students. A very warm welcome to each one of you for today's class. So we have completed prospectus, share capital and debentures, incorporation of companies is done. You have done preliminary also. Today we will be starting a new chapter, that is acceptance of deposits. So after MGT, we now go back to acceptance of deposits. Then you will be doing registration of charges and so on in the same sequence as it is given in the study material. So I hope each one of you have revised management and administration. I hope you have done all the back questions written by yourself, handwritten practice, and all your notes are complete. Today we'll be starting a new chapter. So a very warm welcome to all of you. Good evening, Navneet, Mr. Linga R, Kuldeep, Deepika, Pooja B, Harsh Kaur. A very warm welcome to all of you to the class. Shamli Sharma, Ashilesha, Sakti. Good evening, Sakti. We are Prerna. Everyone, welcome, children. Well done, those who have written. We have revised MGT. That's great. Good evening, Prajapati, Geeta. All of you. So I hope no doubts in the previous chapter and we can move forward to a new chapter today, acceptance of deposits. So what is the meaning of the word deposits? So we are going to start a very, very interesting chapter today, which is named as acceptance of deposits. So we have done book 1, first 4 chapters, preliminary, incorporation, share capital, and prospectus you have done. This is the 5th chapter of the first module, that is acceptance of deposits. From the second module, you have already done the first chapter, that is management and administration, which was quite huge. But we have broken down into 4 parts and you have been learning and revising. So that's wonderful. So almost 30 to 40% of your syllabus, 30% of your syllabus, you can say, has been over. And with these 2 chapters, around 40% of your syllabus will be done, around 50%. So keep revising whatever chapters you have done. Otherwise, if you have too much of backlog, children, then it becomes very difficult at the last moment to come and think about all the topics. Sangeetwani, you raised your hand. You wanted to say something. Good evening, Adil Khan, Prakhar, Divya, those who have just joined. Sangeetwani, you were raising hands. If you have any queries, you can write down in the chat box. All right, all right. So what is the meaning of the word deposits? Now, deposits has a very huge meaning. Remember when we ended debentures, so we did the definition of debentures. So let me ask you, first of all, let me take a small test, which I have been always asking you relating to debentures. What is the meaning of the word debentures? First, tell me that. Where we have ended section 72, because this chapter starts from section 73. So let's get back to our basic concepts where we have left this chapter. That is, what is the meaning of deposits? Money received by the company by way of loan advance. Very good, Sangeetwani. Anil, long-term borrowings. Yes, that's great. So it can be secured or unsecured. It is a debt given to the company. Mr. Linga R, absolutely correct. Prakhar, it's an acknowledgement of debt of the company. So there were things which were included in the definition of debentures. Yes, fixed rate of interest, Shamli Sharma, that's good. Arun Sagar, it is a kind of a loan to the company. Prerna, a loan received by the company. Well done, all of you. Adil Khan, it includes bonds, that's wonderful. And other schedule of RBI is not included, which is given over there in details. Loans taken from other than government. Okay, Harsh. Bond stocks, whether charge on the assets. Very good, Deepika. There might be a charge on the assets or there might not be a charge on the assets. Excellent, Jaya Manocha. Any instrument showing debt but exclude chapter 3D of RBI as well as those prescribed by CG. So I would expect you to write this definition when it comes in the exam. Anubhav Malik, absolutely correct. Arun Sagar, absolutely correct. So all of you have given the correct definition of the word debentures. And now with section 73, we move ahead to the topic that is deposits. Now, deposits is not something very extraordinary. It is also a kind of a borrowings by the company. इसको चाहे आप लोन कह लो, एक होता है लोन होता है, एक होता है डिपॉजिट. लोन भी रीपे होता है, डिपॉजिट्स भी रीपे होते हैं. ऐसा डिपॉजिट विच कंपनी टेक्स. But what is important in acceptance of deposit, that whether every borrowing is a deposit or not, that is very important one. So it says any borrowings taken by the company on which company pays a fixed rate of interest. Like you have opened up your FD in a bank, so that is a fixed deposit. आपने बैंक में जाकर FD करवाई 1 लाख की, आपको रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट मिलता है उसके ऊपर एनुअली. For how many years you are having it, depending it accordingly, annually your rate of interest is calculated. So now when you give certain deposits to a company, so company has taken it as a borrowings and they give you certain amount of interest on that. So you can also understand in layman's language. For example, you go to purchase anything from the market and you need to pay an advance money for that. So this is a kind of a deposit which is either adjusted against the purchase of the assets or it is either refunded if you don't buy the goods. Okay. But if it is an advance which is adjusted, it is not a deposit. So there are certain things which might be deposits and certain things which might not be deposits. So what all is included in the deposits and what borrowings which have been taken by the company is not a deposit, that is what we understand, because chapter number 5 of acceptance of deposits is applicable only and only to the all the deposit provisions are applicable only to the deposits which are taken by the company, and which is not a deposit, that will not be covered under this chapter. So the first thing that we are going to do in today's class, there are 16 items in total which are not deposit. So deposit की definition एक negative tone में दी हुई है कि ये सब चीजें deposit में नहीं आती. और उसी के बेस पे केस स्टडी के क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, एमसीक्यूज आते हैं कि अगर आपने ऐसा लोन लिया है, अगर आपने एडवांस एडजस्ट करा है, तो क्या वो डिपॉजिट है या नहीं. If you have paid any advance money for purchase of any property, whether it is deposit, no ma'am, it is not a deposit because you are paying an advance. When you go and purchase something and you pay an advance, it is not a deposit because it is adjusted against the payment of the price. So whole today's chapter, in today's session, we will be understanding what all is included in the deposits definition and what not is included. After that, we will be doing section 73, that is prohibition on acceptance of deposits. There are certain restrictions from which you cannot take the deposits. Like it will tell you that private company can take the deposits only from its members. However, eligible public company can take the deposits from public as well. अदरवाइज तो आपने डिपॉजिट्स अपने मेंबर्स से लेना है. आपने मेंबर्स को बोला यार थोड़ा पैसा चाहिए कंपनी और अच्छे से रन करने के लिए, बाहर से लोन लेने की बजाय आपसे डिपॉजिट्स ले लेते हैं, अच्छा रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट देते. मेंबर्स ने सोचा बाहर एफडी कराने से अच्छा है कंपनी के पास पैसा दे देते हैं, कंपनी भी खुश, उसका काम अच्छे से चल रहा है, हमें रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट भी देते. So public and private company accept the deposits from their members, which is the provisions given under 73 and 76. How the deposits are accepted from the members is given under section 73. How the eligible public company take the deposits from the public is given under section 76. You need to repay these deposits. अब आप मुझे एक बात बताओ, अगर बैंक में आपने एफडी कराई है, if you have done any fixed deposits in FD, if it is a 2 years FD, does the bank needs to repay it to you or it is forever with bank only? Tell me, it needs to be repaid or not? Of course, ma'am, it will be repaid and with a good amount of interest also. That's why we do FD. It is a kind of investment that we do. Similarly, here you are investing your money with the company. बैंक को देने की बजाय आपने वो डिपॉजिट्स कंपनी को दे दिया और पैसा. एंड कंपनी के लिए ये बोरोइंग है जो रीपे होनी है. Section 74 will tell you how the repayment of deposits have to be done. And Section 76 say talks completely about the punishment. So there are small 4 sections of this chapter and a very big section, that is section 2, which is about definition. So session is divided into 2 classes. Today we'll do section 2, which has 16 items which are not considered deposit. Each and every item, I will elaborate and explain you, and we will be doing case studies, questions, practice for this one. And in the next, we will be doing section 4 section, that is 73 and 76, for 74 समझेंगे, for 76. Now, children, only 4 sections in this chapter. So I would want you to do this chapter completely and very nicely. Yes, you must learn all the sections of this chapter, including section 2 also. मैंने आपको कभी नहीं कहा कि आप इनकॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ कंपनी एंड प्रोस्पेक्टस जो शेयर कैपिटल सॉरी प्रोस्पेक्टस में तो आपने लर्न कर ही लिया, बिकॉज मैंने सुने हुए हैं आपसे, आप अच्छे से सुनाते थे मैम 31 में ये है, 32 में ये है, शेल्फ प्रोस्पेक्टस, RHP, अब्रेव्ड, आपको सारे याद होते थे सेक्शन. सो दैट्स वंडरफुल. Share capital and debentures too huge. We tend to remember section 72, that is debentures, because from going forward we start with section 73, that is deposits. But deposits के 4 ही sections हैं learn करने हैं, और registration of charges भी जब पढ़ोगे उसके भी sections learn कर लेना, because important. Easy है ना, तो फिर easy चीज तो कभी छोड़नी नहीं चाहिए. We should not leave something which is easy. All right, understood? So let's proceed ahead. So deposits are related to the funds needed by the company. So whenever the company is in need of money, it has 2 methods. If it is a public company, there was another method by which the company raises money. So what have we done in the previous classes, ma'am? If it's a public company, it can go for an IPO, initial public offer. It can go for FPO, further public offer. It can go for offer for sale, OFS, offer for sale to the public, selling your shares in the market. And if it's a private company, then it can go for the private piece. So this is one method of raising money. This is a method of raising funds for the capital contribution. The second method of raising funds is taking loans from the banks. Secondly, company क्या करते हैं, ये चीजें आप लिख सकते हो just for your general awareness. Right now, company raise funds from the market. Students, just 1 second. I want to see the students on the portal. Yes, please write down. Company raise funds from the market. That is IPO, FPO. After that, takes loan from the banks. For example, Mr. X borrowed a loan from a bank or his friend, he will return this money. So whenever you have taken a loan from a bank, you will return it. Similarly, company has another method of taking deposits from members, or in few cases, in case of public, that is only for eligible public company. So it can even go to the public for asking for the additional money. All right. So deposits means any money received by the way of deposit or loan or in any other form. It includes money received. So can we say that I have received certain goods as a deposit? Can I say it can be any goods? No, it is always a monetary consideration. It is always money that we have received. All right. Yes, Insia, you can write down if you have any query in the chat box. Absolutely, Mr. Anil. That's very correct that you have written. Your understanding is absolutely correct. They are to be repaid also. Very good, Sandeep. So money received and repayment is time bound. Time bound means I have taken the deposit from one of my members, that is Mr. X, for 1 year. So I told you it has to be repaid after 1 year. So deposits are always time bound. A deposit can be secured or unsecured. What is the meaning of secured or unsecured? Now, Anubhav went to the bank to take a loan of 1 lakh, and in return, he has given certain gold to the bank as a security. What kind of loan is this known as? It is a secured loan. And when I deposited my money and no security was given to me, then it is a unsecured. Very good. All the answers are correct. I've seen how quickly you all have written in the chat box. So you all know the meaning of, so deposits can be secured also or unsecured also, but it always have to be on the tangible assets. Write down over here. No security can be given on the intangible assets. The charge can only be created on the tangible assets and not on the intangible. आप goodwill के ऊपर security देकर नहीं ले सकते deposits. Okay. So whatever money that the company is receiving, it is a deposit or loan. It has to be repaid. It can be secured or unsecured. Private company will get the deposits only from members. There is a company AP Private Limited. Can it go to the public and ask for money in case of deposits? हम वो तो वैसे ही प्राइवेट प्लेसमेंट करती है बेचारी, तो जाती ही नहीं पब्लिक के पास, फिर कैसे करेगी डिपॉजिट्स, कैसे लेगी पब्लिक से? तो ये तो मैम हमें पता था. So अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं yes or no, private company can take the deposits from the public? No, ma'am, not. Yes, Arun Sagar, these are rights for the venture capitals, investors, other investors. They can take the deposits. Okay. But can a public company take the deposits from members and also from public? Yes, on certain parameters. Parameters means only the, लिख लो यहाँ पे, only the eligible public company, only the eligible public company can take money from the public, and not every public company, and not every public. Now we are going to do 16 items which are not considered as deposits. तो बोलते हैं deposit की definition inclusive है. जो मैंने अभी आपको बताया, that is the meaning of deposits. But now what all is not a part of deposit? So first three are the related terms. How we have to learn 1, 2, and 3. Something which is related to government and banks. First 3 point की हमने heading बना लेनी है. Something which is related to government and banks. Number 1, any amount received from CG or SG, or any amount which is guaranteed by CG or SG. I am a company, ABC Limited. I have borrowed money from the, if my company is in Gujarat and I have borrowed money from the Gujarat government, is it a deposit? No, ma'am. It is state government who is funding you, not a deposit. If central government, I have taken money from the central government, the main power, then also it is not a deposit. Or the money that I have taken is from Mr. J, and government has given me the guarantee that Mr. J will repay your money. Don't worry. So here, who is giving the guarantee? Either central government or state government or any local authorities. or statutory authorities which is formed under the Act of Parliament or state legislature, then this amount is not a deposit. ये सारी जो हम कैटेगरीज करने जा रहे हैं, किसी भी तरह की गवर्नमेंट से अगर आपको पैसा मिला है तो वो डिपॉजिट नहीं, वो लोन हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है, डिपॉजिट वाला चैप्टर उसको एप्लीकेबल नहीं है. जो डिपॉजिट के रूल्स हैं, रूल 2 ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ डिपॉजिट रूल्स, यू विल लर्न दिस. सेक्शन 2 क्लॉज 31 में तो डेफिनेशन है व्हाट इज डिपॉजिट, व्हिच आई हैव जस्ट टोल्ड यू दैट इट इंक्लूड्स द मनी रिसीव्ड but does not include certain amounts which in consultation with RBI we have decided that they are not deposit. So rule 2 में list दी हुई है what all is not deposit. So if any question examiner has given you money was received from Maharashtra government, funding has been given to ABC Limited, 4 MCQs में options दी हुई, is it considered as a loan, is it considered as a deposit under rule 2? So you will write down as per rule 2 of the company's acceptance of deposit rules 2014, such amount is not considered as a deposit. कौन सी अमाउंट जो सीजी से मिली है, एसजी से मिली है, स्टेट अथॉरिटी से मिली है, लोकल अथॉरिटी से मिली है, या फिर उसके लिए गारंटी गवर्नमेंट ने दी है, तब भी वो डिपॉजिट नहीं. अब सेकेंड वाले में क्या अंडरलाइनिंग वर्ड है, फॉरेन से मिला है. वो तो इंडियन गवर्नमेंट की बात कर रहा था, हमारा सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट मोदी जी की सरकार से या स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से, तो डिपॉजिट नहीं है. फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट से मिला है, फॉरेन इंटरनेशनल बैंक्स, फॉरेन फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट डेवलपमेंट फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूट, फॉरेन क्रेडिट एजेंसीज, फॉरेन क्रेडिटर्स. क्या देखना है मैम, पेपर में सिर्फ फॉरेन वर्ड देख लेना, डिपॉजिट नहीं है. फॉरेन सिटीजन, फॉरेन बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट, फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट, फॉरेन फाइनेंशियल, तो सारा लर्न नहीं करना, बस फॉरेन लिखा हुआ है सो आपने लिख देना एनी अमाउंट रिसीव फ्रॉम फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट्स और फॉरेन इंस्टीट्यूशंस और फॉरेन कोलैबोरेटर्स, फॉरेन सिटीजंस. It is not a deposit. Why it is not a deposit, ma'am? Because FEMA is applicable to them. If I am receiving any money, I am running a company, HK Limited, and I am receiving a money funding from my cousins in USA, suppose. Then this foreign institutions, if they are running and they are giving me money, FEMA will tell me how I have to deal with this foreign exchange because I'm getting foreign exchange in my hands. So if any such company is receiving the money from the foreign government, it is not acceptance of deposits. FEMA rules and regulations will become applicable to them. And the third category is any loan or facility from any banking company or SBI or any cooperative bank, public financial institutions. इन सबसे अगर हमें कोई पैसा मिल रहा है, if we are receiving any loan from banking company, then it is not a deposit now. SBI या उसकी subsidiary बैंक से, public financial institution, any banking company. So बैंक का पैसा है, अगर किसी भी इंडियन बैंक, SBI, cooperative बैंक से पैसा मिला है, then it is not a deposit. Why, ma'am? Because it is a loan. तो लोन कैटेगरी में आएगा ना, डिपॉजिट्स में थोड़ी ना आएगा. क्लियर? CGSG, गारंटी, 3 वर्ड अंडरलाइन कर लेने हैं. फॉरेन गवर्नमेंट, फॉरेन बॉडीज, फॉरेन कोलैबोरेटर्स, FEMA एप्लीकेबल है. लोन और फैसिलिटी फ्रॉम बैंकिंग, SBI, कोऑपरेटिव बैंक, PFIs इज नॉट अ डिपॉजिट. हो गए पहले पॉइंट 3 लर्न. फोर्थ पे चल. एनी अमाउंट रिसीव्ड अगेंस्ट द इशू ऑफ कमर्शियल पेपर. The company is borrowing money and it is giving a commercial paper in exchange. Now, what is the meaning of commercial paper? It is a kind of a promissory note. क्या होता है commercial paper? It is a kind of a promissory note that yes, we will pay back your money after certain. So अगर commercial paper के रूप में कोई पैसा आपने borrow करा है, that is also not deposit. So it is a money market security issued by large corporations so that they can meet the funds for their short-term obligations. So sometimes the big corporates, they want the money for the short-term debt obligations. Then they borrow this money on the basis of the promissory notes, commercial papers. कि हम आपका पैसा, promissory note क्या होता है? I promise to pay back your money on certain date after this date. So this is known as a commercial paper. Okay. Any amount received by the company from another company. Any amount received from the company by another company. What does this mean? What does it mean? It means intercorporate loans. Write down intercorporate loans. All right. So any money received by, yes, Mr. Hussain, you have raised your hand. You want to ask something? You can write down in the chat box, child. Mr. Syed Hussain, you have any query? Why don't you address it in the chat box? Absolutely, Anubhav. It is intercorporate loans. Very good, Arun Sagar. It was FEMA which is applicable. Yes, Mr. Syed Hussain, what do you want to say? Navneet Maurya, we don't need to get into that. What about foreign companies? So, Shilesha Rao, when we do companies incorporated outside India, then we will understand foreign companies. Yes, Mr. Syed Hussain, what do you want to say? Okay. Okay, Shilesha, got the answer. That's great. Yes, you mean unsecured loan. That was correct. All right. So everybody is clear that this is the Adil Khan. So bonds will be covered as debentures. It will not be deposits. Okay. But there's certain, again, we have discussed that there are certain bonds which the RBI, which is not included that list, that will also not be covered in the definition of deposits. Bank receipts. Arun Sagar, what do you want to ask bank receipts? Bank से अगर आपने पैसा लिया है, then it will not be deposits. So any amount received by company from another company is the intercorporate loans. इसको intercorporate loans की provisions लगेंगी जो हम CA final में पढ़ते हैं, deposits वाले chapter में नहीं. Now sixth one is very easy and something which my students know very well. Any amount received pursuant to means according to an offer made towards the subscription of securities as share application money or an advance which has been received for allotment of securities. So what is the meaning of this line, ma'am? So, ma'am, you taught us that when company issues prospectus, it is an invitation to offer. Yes or no? Then shares are subscribed by public. What do they give you? They give us advance money. या फिर क्या देते हैं हमें? शेयर एप्लीकेशन मनी. Offer company in return allot them the security. सबको याद है ना section 3940 of the Companies Act. Company in return allot them the securities means this is acceptance of the offer. पहले कंपनी प्रोस्पेक्टस इशू करती है, शेयर सब्सक्राइब करके शेयर एप्लीकेशन मनी रिसीव करती है, एडवांस देती है और उस एडवांस मनी से रिलेटेड शेयर सिक्योरिटीज अलॉट कर देती है. ठीक है, सिक्योरिटीज अलॉट कर. Now, within how many days the securities should be allotted? This is your test. Within how many days these allotment of securities should happen? Within 60 days, everyone remember? And if not allotted in 60 days, फिर क्या था? Return this share application money in how many days? You have to tell me in the chat box. 20 days, 30 days, 50 days, 30 days आदिल खान लिख रहा है. वाओ आदिल, सामने लिखा हुआ था स्लाइड में 60 days. अरुण सागर, एक्सीलेंट. वेरी गुड अनुभव, मलिक, दिव्या, नवनीत. Yes, same bank account. Very good, Navneet. Excellent. Shamli says, yes, ma'am, we remember. Prakhar, very good. Sangeet Vani, excellent. 60 days में allotment, 15 days में return the money. Jaya Manocha also refund in 30 days. 30 days तो कुछ था ही नहीं. क्यों लिखा 30 days? याद करना पड़ेगा. अरुण सागर तो इंटरेस्ट भी चार्ज कर रहे हैं अगर वापस ना कर. हर्ष मिश्रा, very good. Divya, 15 days correct. Theosumi, not written. Prajapati, good. Sabya Khan, everybody. Amar is writing 7 days. Amar, open your books and read section 39 and 40 today. Your homework, Mr. Amar Shinde. Absolutely wrong answer. 1 week and 30 days. Mr. Aditya KS, please start studying. Start revising. Riya correct. Yuvam correct. Theosumi correct. So everyone else has given the correct answer. Return the share application money in 15 days. Refund करना. So हमने सेक्शन 40 में पढ़ा था 2 ही तरीके होते हैं जो भी हमने शेयर एप्लीकेशन मनी दी है, या तो उसके अगेंस्ट हम सिक्योरिटीज अलॉट कर देंगे, नहीं तो हम 15 डेज में रिफंड. अब मैम ये यहाँ पे हम क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं प्रोस्पेक्टस? क्योंकि बेटा अगर आपने, पहले हिंदी में बताऊंगी फिर इंग्लिश, ठीक है. If these securities for which the application money cannot be allotted in 60 days, you need to return it. And if you have not refunded it in 15 days, then from the 76th day, it shall be treated as deposit under Rule 20, under Rule 2, and all the provisions of this chapter will become applicable. All the provisions of this chapter will become applicable. So what is the rule? Within 60 days, allot the securities. And if it is not allotted, within 15 days, return the money. And if it is not returned, then after the 76th day says go, it will be treated as deposit under this. एक point तो ये क्या? If the securities are not allotted in 60 days or advance, and it is not refunded in 15 days from the date of completion, then it will be treated. सबको समझ आ गया? Second point है, any adjustment made for any other purpose shall not be treated as refund. What is the meaning of this line? I did not understand. Any adjustment means what kind of adjustment? What kind of adjustment he is talking? He's saying, I did not. So there was an investor, Mr. A, who has given 1 lakh rupees as a share application money to the company PQR. And this share application money was received on 1st October 2023. By which date I should allot him the securities? 31st October, 29th November or 30th November. 60 days कहाँ complete हो रहे हैं? 29th November. 29th November तक मुझे securities allot कर देनी चाहिए. मैंने securities allot नहीं कर, तो मुझे कितने दिन में रिफंड कर देना चाहिए? 14 दिसंबर कि 13th है? देखो जरा 15 डेज कहाँ तक आ रहे? 15 दिसंबर, 14 दिसंबर तक आएगा. आपका मैथ्स नहीं ठीक नहीं है. मैथ्स कॉल्स इन एरियर्स और एडवांस. प्रखर इधर ही रहो बेटा, अभी जो कर रहे हैं उसमें ध्यान. ठीक है, 14 दिसंबर तक. बिल्कुल ठीक, सबने ठीक आंसर दिया. 14 दिसंबर तक रिफंड. Now, you know what PQR Limited has done? PQR Limited had to receive certain amount of money which was due from Mr. A. Mr. A is also a dealer with PQR Limited. Now here Mr. A is sending share application money. He thought that the company has come with an IPO. I will invest the money. And this PQR Limited said, no, we had certain adjustment because you have not paid the money. We have adjusted this 1 lakh rupees against that money that we wanted to receive from you. You have purchased the goods from us earlier, and now we are adjusting this money against this. Can we do that first of all? Can we make any other adjustment of the share application money? Section 40 याद से पढ़ना आज जरा. Section 40 में strictly लिखा हुआ है या तो शेयर्स अलॉट कर दो या पैसा वापस कर दो, इसके अलावा कोई और पर्पस यूज नहीं. सो यहाँ पे वो कहता है कि अगर आपने कुछ और पर्पस से यूज करा दैट विल नॉट बी ट्रीटेड एज रिफंड. मींस यहाँ पे भी डिपॉजिट मान लिया जाएगा. आप गलत कर रहे हो, यही मान लिया जाएगा कि आपने रिफंड नहीं करा है. दैट मीन्स नाउ दिस अमाउंट विल बी ट्रीटेड एज अ डिपॉजिट. देयर इज नो अदर एडजस्टमेंट दैट यू कैन मेक ऑफ दिस. अंडरस्टूड? यस, पिछला पैसा आपने एडजस्ट कर दिया, गलत. Harsh Mishra, if not returned within 15 days, then we will be considering it as a deposit. Means 14 December तक भी अगर मैंने रिटर्न नहीं करा, पैसा मेरे पास ही पड़ा, ना मैंने शेयर्स दिए ना मैंने पैसा रिटर्न करा, तो अब इस पैसे को डिपॉजिट मान लिया जाएगा कि कंपनी ने अपने पास डिपॉजिट. ठीक है. एंड अगर आप एडजस्ट कर रहे हो किसी और चीजों के लिए, जैसे मैंने अभी आपको एग्जांपल दिया, आई जस्ट गिव यू एन एग्जांपल. इफ यू आर एडजस्टिंग द शेयर एप्लीकेशन मनी अगेंस्ट अनदर advancement of the goods and services or any other thing, then also it is not a good thing. Then it will not be considered as the money as the refund. Is that clear to everyone? All right. Now, before we proceed ahead, I think let's open the study material also. एक बार तो स्टडी मटेरियल के भी दर्शन करने चाहिए. So deposit is any receipt of money by way of deposit or loan, but does not include the amounts in consultation with RBI. So these are the points that we have done. Any money or loan, repayment is time bound, secured, unsecured. जो सारी एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ डिपॉजिट रूल्स में रूल 2 में बताए गए वो नहीं होते डिपॉजिट्स. डिपॉजिट में बी एक्सेप्टेड इन जॉइंट नेम्स नॉट एक्सीडिंग 3%. So there are A, B, and C who has given the deposits to the company. Can we accept in joint names? Yes, 3 persons is accepted. अगर हम D भी लगा देंगे तो फिर वो नहीं है. Joint person सिर्फ 3 persons से ले सकते हैं, उससे ज्यादा नहीं. A depository may nominate any person at any time. So when you get and open your FD in your bank, so he always asks you whom do you want to act as a nominee. So you give your mother's name or your father's name that tomorrow if I am not there, my FD money shall be given to my mother or your father or your husband, your wife, whosoever you want to nominate, or your son. So similarly, when a company takes a deposit, they also ask for the nominee that if tomorrow by God, anything happened to you, and if you're not there, then who shall get this money back? Then you have to give the name of a nominee. एवरी डिपॉजिट शैल बी रीपेड विद इंटरेस्ट. इंटरेस्ट भी देना है. मैंने बताया ना आपको, एफडी को दिमाग में रखो बस. एफडी सबको पता है ना क्या होता है. फिक्स डिपॉजिट जो बैंक में खोलते हो, एफडी दैट बी ओपन विद द बैंक. सो वैसे ही होता है डिपॉजिट्स विद द कंपनी. इंटरेस्ट मिलता है उसमें भी, इसमें भी मिलेगा. Premature repayment can be made by the company. Section 74 will teach us how the repayment can be made in premature way. Private company किससे लेगा? Members से. Public company members and public दोनों से. Certain parameters means eligible public. Secured means charge on the assets. Unsecured means partial or no security. This is amazing. I have borrowed a loan of 1 lakh rupees from the bank and gave him security for 20,000 and 80,000 no security. It is secured loan or unsecured? जल्दी बताओ. If I have given a partial security, it is a secured loan or unsecured? Unsecured, correct answer. Unsecured is the correct answer. Any money from Indian government's local authority, not a deposit. Any money from foreign government, foreign collaborators, foreign body corporates, everybody else, because FEMA is applicable, not a deposit. Any money from banking, SBI, corresponding banks, cooperative companies, cooperative banks, not deposit. Any loan or financial assistance, loan ले रहे हो ना भाई, public financial institution से loan ले रहे हो, PFIs कौन से होते हैं? Which are notified by central board in consultation with Reserve Bank of India. So on any scheduled banks, any financial institutions, if they are giving you loan, it is not a deposit. Commercial paper के लिए पैसा लिया है, not a deposit. Intercorporate loans, not. And again, subscription of securities के लिए लिया है, then it is not a deposit. 60 days में securities allot करना, 15 days में return नहीं हुई, तो it will be treated as deposit. I have a question related to this, which I wanted. Deposit concept is same. No, Navneet, that is not exactly prospectus, but yes, few things will be coming and it will be looking as if it is related to prospectus. Okay, I'll show you one question. I'll just give you a hint how you have to attempt these questions. So answer the following, citing the relevant provisions of the Companies Act. Wire Electricals Limited, having a paid up capital of 1 crore rupees, avail a term loan of 10 lakh rupees from ABC Bank Limited to purchase the electrical items. So there is a company, Electricals Limited. It is taking the loan from Bank Limited. Mr. Tar, one of the directors of the company, is of the opinion that this amount shall be considered as deposit. Please tell me if his contention is correct. वायर इलेक्ट्रिकल्स लिमिटेड ने पैसा लिया है 10 लाख रुपए का लोन फ्रॉम एबीसी बैंक एंड डायरेक्टर्स आर सेइंग इट इज अ डिपॉजिट. इज इट करेक्ट और नो? अब सब ने चैट बॉक्स में लिख दिया मैम नो इट इज नॉट करेक्ट, इट इज नॉट अ डिपॉजिट. पेपर में क्या लिख कर आओ? फर्स्ट करो, मैंने 2 नंबर का एक क्वेश्चन दे दिया, सिर्फ ये लिखा होगा नो इट इज नॉट अ डिपॉजिट. व्हाट विल यू राइट इन द एग्जाम? आई वांट टू सी दैट. Make an effort, write it in the chat box. Let me see what do you try to write. Take 2 minutes, think about it, then write. Don't write yes or no. I know you know that. Very good. Few of you are trying it. Everyone should try. All the students on the portal, your answers are coming, so don't worry, keep writing. Everybody is giving the correct answer. Okay. All right, Ashilisha, Shamli, everybody has made an effort. Not correct. Harsh Mishra, Jaya Manuja, Aditya, that's fine. Yeah, very good, Jaya. Now you have written the facts of the case also. Sounds interesting. Anubhav Malik, that's good. I like that answer, Anubhav. Yes, this much is sufficient. Anil, it's correct. Okay, I've read most of your answers. Prerna, Pooja, everybody has written correct. Now let me just show you how I expect you to write it down for just the first part. As per rule 2(1)(c)(3), बिल्कुल नहीं याद रहने वाला आपको ये, बट मैंने अभी आपको बताया कम से कम रूल 2 हम याद करें, तो रहने दो, ये नहीं याद रहेगा. एज पर रूल 2 of the company's acceptance deposit rules 2014, any amount received as a loan or facility from any banking company will not be considered as a deposit. Therefore, in view of the above contention, Mr. Tar, the term loan that they have availed shall be considered as a deposit is not correct. So आप इसको 2 लाइनों में तोड़ के भी लिख सकते हो कि उसने आपको बोला कि उसने अमाउंट लिया है, which is not a correct intention. This will not be considered as a deposit. Shall we do one more question? Okay. RS Limited received share application money of 50 lakhs on 1st June 2019, but failed to allot the shares within the prescribed time. Share application of 5 lakh was received from Mr. Khanna, a customer of the company, and it was refunded by making a book adjustment for the dues which were payable to him. The company said, just read the question and try framing the answer for it. I give you 2 minutes, just frame an answer for this. Wonderful answers given by many of you, in fact, I would say. It's the purpose that the company is using. Yes, Anil. The purpose is not necessary, Anil. Pooja B, you're not given the answer for this one. Okay, Mr. Satish, Adil Khan, Arun Sagar. All right. So everybody has got it correct, those who have given the answer. Yes, Pooja, loan cannot be considered. The reporting of the company secretary is partially invalid. All right. Very nice. That's great. So by the way of book adjustment, they are adjusting the amount. The company secretary said the entire 50 lakhs shall deemed to be deposits. Company is required to comply with the provisions applicable. You're required to examine the validity of the company secretary's reporting. Now, how you have to frame the answer? एक पेज का आंसर है और आपने मुझे ना ये 3-3 4-4 लाइनें लिख के दी हैं. ये लिख नहीं सकते आप 60 days 15 days वाला, अभी तो पढ़ा है हमने. अभी तो करा है, जस्ट फ्रेश करा है बेटा. So as per rule 2 of company's acceptance of deposit rule, following is not considered as deposit. What is not considered? Yes, Navneet, you want to speak the answer?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Actually, ma'am, I have written the answer in 15 to 16 lines and sent to the chat box. I think you
Yeah,
haven't
I've
read my
seen many
answer.
of your answers. I've seen it, but so now I have to show you the final answer, right? So if you have
Okay,
written it the way I'm showing you in the screen, then that's well done. So children, this is what we have to learn. Okay, okay, Navneet?
okay, ma'am.
So children, it's very important. Law learn हो जाएगा आराम से. लिखना बहुत जरूरी है, and paper will be lengthy. Let's accept the fact. Let's not crib later on. Paper is so lengthy. How will we do it? Keep doing writing practice now. Now is the time. Don't think later on that how will I do the paper now. So please, children, I keep telling you, do writing practice. I am making you do the writing practice as and when possible during the class also. So if you have written this provisions of the case, you have written it cannot be allotted. See, I have underlined the line so that you don't even have to read the entire thing, and try underlining wherever possible in the exam. पूरा पेपर लाइनों से मत भर कर आना, सारा नहीं अंडरलाइन करना. जैसे हल्का सा यहाँ 60 days 15 days सेम पेन आप यूज करके हल्का अंडरलाइनिंग कर सकते हो. बी वेरी नीट व्हेन यू राइट द पेपर. Sometimes we know the students have just filled the sheets and they don't even know what they're writing. So it should be very clear, nicely written, and presentable. So in the given question, 50 lakh rupees at here. So we have clearly told you that if you're adjusting against any other person, it will not be treated as refund. So RS Limited ने 50 lakh receive करे and shares allot नहीं करे. And 5 lakh amount received, the company said adjusted the 5 lakhs amount by way of book adjustment. Now what has happened? आपको वो money refund करनी थी और आप adjustment कर रहे हो. So there are two things to this. There are two things to this. If the share application money is not refunded, then 60 days will end on 31st July, and within 15 days, the company should refund. So from the next 15 days, if the amount has not been refunded, it will be treated as deposit. So treating entire amount as deposit is not correct. Adjustment of the amount will not be treated as refund. So 5 lakh adjusted due cannot be treated as refund. Means 5 lakh को आप deposit treat कर लो, but अगर 45 lakhs आपने refund कर दिया है, then there is no default. Okay, that's why I made you write down these 2 points, highlighted these 2 points very clearly for you, that this is what we call as a refund. कहाँ गया amount? Where is it? It's showing like this. यस, आराम से याद आ जाएगा बेटा. अनुभव, क्यों टेंशन ले रहे हो? याद आएगा एग्जाम में. जब आप पढ़ते रहोगे, मेहनत करोगे, तो सब याद आ जाएगा. ओके, एनीवन वांट्स टू से समथिंग? तो आपको मैंने अभी बताया था शेयर एप्लीकेशन का ये वन पार्ट है, ये सेकंड पार्ट. और अब उस क्वेश्चन से रिलेटेड आपको सब समझ आ गया कि किस तरह से दोनों पार्ट्स हमने अप्लाई. ओके बेटा. Any amount received from a person. Now we are moving to the 7th category of deposit, which is not a deposit. Any amount received from a person who at the time of receipt of the amount was a director of the company or a relative of the director of a private company. So either you are a director of the company or you are a relative of the director of private company, then it is not a deposit. Number one, अगर डायरेक्टर से लिया या उसके रिलेटिव से लिया है तो डिपॉजिट नहीं. बट डायरेक्टर ऑफ द कंपनी और रिलेटिव ऑफ द डायरेक्टर ऑफ प्राइवेट कंपनी। अभी बताती हूँ इसमें क्या ट्विस्ट है। At the time of giving money, director or relative has given a declaration in writing that this amount is not given out of the funds acquired by borrowing or accepting loan from others. And also the company has disclosed these details of the money so accepted in the post. पहले स्टोरी सुनते हैं। एक कंपनी थी एबीसी लिमिटेड, पब्लिक कंपनी। उसके डायरेक्टर थे मिस्टर डी। मैं कंपनी हूं, मैंने मिस्टर डी से 5 लाख रुपए लिए। Will you call it as a deposit or not? No, ma'am. Any money received from a director of a public company is not a deposit. Number one. I am a company PQR Private Limited. I have taken a deposit from the relative of my director, Mr. D. So, Mr. D मेरी कंपनी के डायरेक्टर है, उनकी वाइफ है मिसेस डी. I have taken the deposit from Mrs. D. Will it be considered as a deposit? Yes or no? Excellent. Everybody has answered it correctly. ध्यान से सुनिए. I am a company ABC Limited. ठीक है मुस्तफा, everybody, I've seen your answer. No is correct answer. अब रुक जाओ. I am a company ABC Limited. I have borrowed the money from the wife of director Mr. D. Will it be considered as deposit? Savia Khan. Excellent. Only Savia has written yes. बाकी सोच रहे हैं क्या लिखे. कुछ तो ट्विस्ट होगा ना, तभी मैम ने पूछा. वेरी गुड युवम पॉल. Why public company cannot take from directors? So Jaya Manuja, who said that they cannot take money from directors? They can. We're just saying that it is not a deposit. Simple. Very good, Prajapati, everybody. So what do we conclude? That for a public company, money taken from the director is not a deposit. For a private company, money taken from a director or his relative also is allowed. It is not a deposit. बट अगर पब्लिक कंपनी के केस में, लिखो सब लोग, प्लीज राइट इट डाउन. इन केस ऑफ पब्लिक कंपनी, इफ यू हैव बोरोड द मनी फ्रॉम रिलेटिव ऑफ अ डायरेक्टर, देन मैम yes it is a deposit. If we have borrowed money from the relative of a director in case of public company, then yes it is a deposit. एक तो ये कॉन्सेप्ट था इसमें, सबको क्लियर हो. सेकेंड कॉन्सेप्ट, when it is not a deposit, when money is being taken from the directors, then it is not a deposit. Director or relative is not a deposit. Only when they have given a declaration, Mr. D will have to give a declaration signed in writing that look, whatever money I am lending to this company, I am giving it out of my own funds. I have not borrowed from the bank and then I am lending a loan. ये मेरा ही पैसा है, मैं ही कंपनी को दे रहा हूँ, मैंने लोन ली नहीं है इसके लिए. अगर ऐसी डिक्लेरेशन दी है और ये सारी पैसे की डिटेल्स हमने बोर्ड रिपोर्ट में दिखाई हैं, तो ये डायरेक्टर्स लोन में जाएगा जया मनोजा, डिपॉजिट नहीं आएगा. ये कहना चाहता है. सिंपली ट्राइंग टू टेल यू दैट इट इज नॉट अ डिपॉजिट. वेरी गुड संगीत बनी. एक्सीलेंट. ऑल ऑफ यू आर राइटिंग वेल डन. करेक्ट. ऑल राइट. So what is the point number 7? 3 things that we have to learn. Number 1, money taken from a director of public company or a director of private company is not a deposit. Money taken from a relative of a private company's director is not a deposit. Provided the 2 things, we have taken a declaration in writing that the money is not out of the borrowed funds and we have disclosed it in the board's report. Second thing, if money is taken from the relative of a director of a public company, then is it a deposit or not? Yes or no? Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Then it is a deposit. Clear ho gaya? So chapter is interesting, but we'll keep doing questions along so that you get to learn. So ma'am, second case में recipient is a public company. कौन सा सेकेंड केस में अनुभव क्या लिख रहे हो? कौन सा सेकंड केस? रिलेटिव वाला. सो सेकंड केस में रिसिपेंट इज अ पब्लिक कंपनी. सो पब्लिक कंपनी बेटा डायरेक्टर से लेगी तो डिपॉजिट नहीं है, रिलेटिव से लेगी तो डिपॉजिट है, ये लिखा है. प्राइवेट कंपनी में दोनों के केस में डिपॉजिट नहीं. ठीक है. ऑल राइट. सो जस्ट गो थ्रू द थिंग्स. नवनीत मौर्य, सबके आंसर आ रहे हैं बेटा. सो मेनी स्टूडेंट्स इन द क्लास. अभी मैं आपको जब प्रॉपर वो वाला टेस्ट लूंगी ना, ये देखो रिया का भी आंसर आ रहा है. ओनली डायरेक्टर हैज टू गिव अ डिक्लेरेशन. नो बेटा, व्हाई ओनली रिलेटिव? Absolutely, Mustafa is writing this chapter looks like a thriller movie with all the rules. So the rules are very easy and interesting also, Mustafa. They're not that tough. Okay? चलो, अब फटाफट से एक छोटी सी ब्रेक लेते हैं. स्टडी मटेरियल में से रीड करो ये सारे पॉइंट्स, ताकि आपका कॉन्सेप्ट क्लियर हो, एंड देन आस्क मी डाउट्स. सर, वी आर टेकिंग अ स्मॉल ब्रेक. Yes. जो कंपनी रिसीविंग है वो पब्लिक है या प्राइवेट, बोथ द केसेस. ओके अनुभव. So if you are a public company and you have received the money from a director, then tell me Anubhav, is it a deposit or not? And Manish sir, everyone वाला chat box कर देंगे please. Yeah. So we are getting that everyone chat box, so you can write down there. Very good, Anubhav. Then it is not a deposit. But if the relative of the director of public company, he has given us the money, then it is a deposit or not? Then yes, it is a deposit. Very good. So now, if private company is receiving the money from director or relative, then in either the cases, it is, answer is not a deposit. Very good, Sangeeta. Satish, absolutely correct. All right, everybody is correct. Now understood, Anubhav? Okay. Very good, Adil, Shamli, Pooja, everyone. So now our everyone chat box is working. So you can write down there. सबको 7 points तक समझ आ गया? No doubts. Can we move forward now? Now moving ahead to the 8th point, which is very, very interesting. Any amount received by way of bonds or debentures secured by first charge or the charge ranking pari passu with the first charge. First of all, let us understand what is the meaning of pari passu means. On same terms, on similar terms, pari passu means on equal footing. Write down. Pari passu means on equal footing. So I have a car which I have given as a security to any company. So I borrowed a loan from SBI Bank and I gave them my car as a security. Later on, I borrowed money from Axis Bank. And I said, although the first charge has been created, now the meaning of charge word you will understand when you do registration of charges in detail. But here, Shraddha is saying no audio. Shraddha, everybody is able to hear me. Miss Shraddha Vadekar. I hope you can hear me now. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Mustafa. All right. So here it means that if I have given the same car as a security to Axis Bank also. So the loan that I've taken from SBI is 50,000 rupees and security was my car. And this car is for 5 lakh rupees. I have borrowed money from Axis Bank, 1 lakh rupees. And I said, I'm giving you the same car as a charge, means as a security, with a pari passu with my first charge. Means now, if I default SBI, they will recover 50,000 from my car. If I default to pay Axis Bank also, they can also recover my 1 lakh from this car. Means both of them can recover the amount equally if the loan is of equal amount. 5 लाख का है, 2.5 लाख इसको दिया है मैंने, 2.5 लाख इसको, तो दोनों रिकवर कर ले. बट अगर 50,000 and 1 lakh का केस था, तो proportionate basis पे both of them can recover the money from my car which I have given as a security. Means first charge and the second charge that I've created is also on pari passu, means both of them can recover the money from the security that I've provided. But can we take the intangible assets? No, ma'am. Intangible assets are not to be taken. So what is he trying? This was the meaning of first charge and second charge. But here we are talking about the secured bonds and debentures having a first charge or second charge, excluding intangible assets. Means the security should always be of tangible assets like car, bike, gold, something which is tangible. Intangible, goodwill वगैरह नहीं चलता. And it shall not exceed the market value of such assets as assessed by the register bank. So it should not be including intangible assets, number one, and the amount of bonds and debentures is not more than the market value of the assets. Then these bonds and debentures, which are secured bond and debentures, they are not a deposit. क्योंकि हम क्या कर रहे हैं? हम रूल 2 में यही तो पढ़ रहे हैं क्या क्या डिपॉजिट्स नहीं है. What all is not deposits? Bonds and debentures which are compulsorily convertible into shares in 10 years. So company has issued such bonds which are CCD bonds, that is compulsory convertible debentures, or CCB, that is compulsory convertible bonds. After 10 years, they will be converted into equity shares. Then if you have issued such convertible shares and bonds, then so it is not a deposit. Now, third category, any amount raised by non-convertible. तो मैम कन्वर्टेबल था तो ठीक है, नॉन कन्वर्टेबल है तो भैया डिबेंचर हो जाएगा. नॉट हैविंग अ चार्ज मीन्स अनसिक्योर्ड है तो डिपॉजिट हो जाएगा. सिक्योर्ड है तो डिपॉजिट नहीं है, लिख लो अपने रजिस्टर में, सिक्योर्ड है तो डिपॉजिट नहीं है, कन्वर्टेबल है तो डिपॉजिट नहीं है, नॉन कन्वर्टेबल है तो डिपॉजिट. बट थर्ड कैटेगरी कहती है अगर नॉन कन्वर्टेबल है और नॉन सिक्योर्ड है बट लिस्टेड है. क्या है? लिस्टेड है ऑन रिकॉग्नाइज्ड स्टॉक एक्सचेंज, then also it is not a deposit. Then also it is not a deposit. So I have issued secured debentures or bonds having first charge और पारी पासू चार्ज, चाहे पारी पासू चार्ज है या फर्स्ट चार्ज है, मैम दिस इज नॉट अ डिपॉजिट. क्लियर हो गया? I have issued compulsory convertible debentures or compulsory convertible bonds which will be converted into equity in how many years? मैंने कहा 8 years. Within 10 years हो रहा है, not a deposit. मैम मेरे वाले में 15 years में हो रहा है, 10 years deposit. मैम मैंने अनसिक्योर्ड डिबेंचर्स इशू करे, then yes deposit. बट मैम थर्ड कैटेगरी भी तो हमें चेक करनी है ना. इफ अनसिक्योर्ड, if non-convertible but listed, क्या कंडीशन है? But listed on stock exchange, then not a deposit. So you answer me, if unsecured and non-convertible and unlisted, then yes or no? Then yes, deposit. Everybody has given yes as the correct answer. So that's wonderful. Understood everyone? टफ लगता है नहीं है. अगर आप पॉइंट्स बनाते जाओ, ऐसे ऐसे ब्रेकआउट करते रहोगे ना नोट्स में, तो बच्चा इजी लगेगा आपको और याद भी होता चले. ठीक है? Everyone is clear? All right, all the answers at the portal are also correct. So well done. Just complete your notes of 8th point, then we are moving ahead to the 9th point. So any amount, 9th and 10th are again related points and very, very interesting points. I hope no doubt till 1st to 8th point. All right. So now let's do the next one. If secured, listed, and yes, then beta, it will be a deposit. Okay. Any amount received from an employee of the company not exceeding his annual salary within the nature of non-interest bearing security deposit. Now, so many words we have entered over here. Amit Biswas, Steffi Jose, and Santosh Dash. Your answers are correct. Okay. All right, Santosh. So any amount received from an employee of the company. So मैंने आपको बोला था डायरेक्टर से आया पैसा, तो नॉट अ डिपॉजिट. पब्लिक कंपनी के केस में सिर्फ डायरेक्टर था. प्राइवेट के कंपनी के केस में डायरेक्टर एंड रिलेटिव दोनों से आया हुआ नॉट अ डिपॉजिट था. अब अगर एम्प्लॉई से हमने रिसीव करा, एम्प्लॉई मीन्स जिसको हम सैलरी देते हैं, इनकम टैक्स भरते हो ना आप, एम्प्लॉयर एम्प्लॉय, जो मेरे पास काम कर रहा है, एम्प्लॉई है. If I have received the deposit from him, suppose the annual salary of this employee is 10 lakh rupees per annum, and I have received 1 lakh rupees from my employee, and I'm not paying any interest on this amount. So this is not a deposit because it is non-interest bearing security deposit. It is not exceeding his annual salary under the terms of employment, and it is non-interest bearing. Neither I am giving him any interest on this. It is not a deposit. And if it is not exceeding annual salary. Example number 1. Example number 2. If from the same employee, I have borrowed 20 lakh rupees as a loan. Is it a deposit? Yes or no? उसकी एनुअल सैलरी बेचारे की 10 लाख है, आपने 20 लाख रुपया exceeding his annual salary you have taken, then yes ma'am, it is a deposit. Cool. समझ आ गया. I have taken 2 lakh rupees. Is it a deposit? No ma'am, not a deposit. I am paying interest on these 2 lakh. Then yes, deposits. Very good. Shamli, Navneet, Prerna, Sangeetwani, excellent. Adil, Ashilesha, everybody is correct. Divya, Mustafa, everyone is correct. All right. So if you are paying the interest, then it is a deposit. Non-interest, it's not a deposit. Not exceeding annual salary, not a deposit. Exceeding annual salary, deposit. Similarly, 10th point says, any interest bearing amount received and held in trust. So यहाँ पे employee से receive करा था. If the company is receiving any money from a trust and it is non-interest bearing, means you have received the money from the trust but you're not paying the interest, then it is not a deposit. Then it will not be considered as a deposit. If you're receiving from the employee, you're not paying interest. If you're receiving from the trust, you're not paying the interest. It is not. Clear है 9th and 10th point? थोड़ा सा स्टडी में चलते हैं. Let's do illustration. Example 1. Surya Limited has raised 20 lakh rupees through issue of non-convertible debentures and not constituting a charge on the assets. Means non-convertible है and charge भी नहीं है, means non-secured है. But they are listed on the recognized stock exchange. Will it be considered as a deposit? Yes or no? And why? No, ma'am, not a deposit. Very good. Why? Because it is listed. It is non-convertible, unsecured, but it is listed. That's why it is not a deposit. Excellent. Ratnakar was appointed as a supervisor by Siddhi Transporters. Annual salary was 6 lakh rupees. He is required to deposit 6 lakh 50 under the employment as a security deposit on which no interest was paid. Deposit है कि नहीं है? Ma'am, first of all, he is an employee. Non-interest bearing hai. It will be considered as a deposit since it is exceeding the annual salary. If the amount would have been less than 6 lakhs or 6 lakhs, then it would not have been deposit. But since it exceeds the annual salary, so yes is the correct answer for example. Is that clear? अब एग्जाम्पल 3 करेंगे हम वापस आकर यहाँ से। पहले हम प्रेजेंटेशन में जाएंगे और बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड पॉइंट है जिसको मैं सिंप्लीफाई करके पढ़ाऊंगी, ध्यान से सुनना ये वाला। पॉइंट नंबर 11। Point number 11 has its own 6 sub-points, so pay very much attention. Amount received in the course of the business of the company. मतलब बिजनेस से रिलेटेड कोई पेमेंट है, पहली बात। पर्सनल नहीं है, बिजनेस ऑफ द कंपनी से रिलेटेड आपको कोई एडवांस आया हो। नंबर 1 क्या चीज आई हुई है, कोई एडवांस मनी आई है against which you're going to supply the goods and services against that advance money, and you will be supplying these goods and services within 365 days of the day when you have taken advance, except when it is a legal proceedings matter. As of now, just leave this line. इसको छोड़ देते हैं, सिर्फ पहली लाइन समझ। I am a company ABC Limited. I have taken advance money from one of my dealers, Mr. Q, who does business with me, because all these transactions are related to business. So I do business with Mr. Q, and I have taken an amount of 1 lakh rupees as a loan, as an advance, and I will be supplying him goods in exchange of this advance. So they were goods worth rupees 10 lakh. He said, Mr. Q said, company, please take 1 lakh rupees as of now. I will pay you 9 lakh rupees later. So I will supply him the goods. He will pay me later on 9 lakh rupees and I will give him the goods. Such a kind of advance is not a deposit, provided I give him the goods in next 365 days, means 1 year के अंदर अंदर ही contract पूरा हो जाना चाहिए, आपको उसको इस advance के लिए goods देनी चाहिए। सबको समझ आ गया? मैंने 400 दिन लगा दिए गुड्स देने में, मैंने सेकंड कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई नहीं करी, क्या करूंगी इस एडवांस? डिपॉजिट मान ले? Yes, Prateek, Gadage, this is the first lecture of this chapter. Very good, Jayash, Shamli, Prerna, Kuldeep. Yes is the correct answer. Then we will consider it as a deposit. Aditya, Yuvam, Deepika, very good. Okay. But where the advance, ये वाला मैंने अभी आपको नहीं बताया, इस पे वापस। पॉइंट नंबर 1 इज क्लियर। 365 डेज की कंडीशन याद रखनी है, एडवांस मनी मिला है, इसके बदले में मैंने गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज देना है। 3 पॉइंट से तीनों याद। सेकेंड पॉइंट इज एडवांस हैज बीन रिसीव्ड फॉर द इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी। आपने घर खरीदा, 1 करोड़ रुपए का घर खरीदा आपने, 1 करोड़ पड़ा होता है किसी के पास इमीडिएटली देने के लिए, हम यही बोलते हैं ना, भैया 10 लाख एडवांस ले ले, टोकन मनी, बाकी 90 लाख मैं बाद में दूँ। सॉरी, इन इंग्लिश, so I have given the token money advance, that is 10 lakh rupees, and I said I will be giving 90 lakh rupees later, and I'm buying this immovable property, means a house. So here the advance will be adjusted against the property, therefore it is not a deposit. Third is security deposit for performing any contract for the supply of goods and services. So I have taken 1 lakh rupees and I said that the person said, I will perform the contract later on. And as of now, he has given an advance as a security deposit. And later on, the supply of goods and services will happen. This is also not a deposit. For any long-term projects, capital goods will be supplied, except those covered under item B. So item B has already covered immovable property. Other than this immovable property, any other long-term project for the capital goods, then that is also not considered as a deposit. So first 4 फटाफट से देख लेते हैं। Number 1, advance has been taken. Advance has been taken. And it is in the purpose of the business of the company. Such advance has been taken for supplying the goods and services. 365 days is the condition. Second is advance money for the immovable property. Third is security deposit for performing of the contract. Fourth is long-term project for the supply of capital goods. All these cases, it is not a deposit. Fifth is, you have purchased a washing machine for your house and you said that I am going to pay you the advance for any future maintenance. Like for the annual maintenance contract, AMC मैंने कराई इस मशीन की कि कोई भी रिपेयर होता है, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम होता है, तो मैंने एनुअल मेंटेनेंस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के लिए, फ्यूचर सर्विसेज के लिए या वारंटी के लिए पहले ही 1 लाख रुपीज पे कर दिया एज पर द रिटर्न. And this period should not exceed the period as per the common business practice, or 5 years, whichever is less. So wherever you have given an advance for the future services, you have purchased a mobile phone. You said, I want to give certain money for a warranty period for 3 years. So 3 years or 5 years, whichever is less. 3 years is less. For 3 years, this money that you have paid will not be deposited. एनुअल मेंटेनेंस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करें, मतलब साल में अगर आपको कुछ भी रिपेयर चाहिए, मेंटेनेंस चाहिए, तो आपने ऑलरेडी पेमेंट कर दिया फ्यूचर सर्विसेज के लिए, एंड दिस विल नॉट बी. Any advance received or allowed by the sectorial regulator according to state and central government. तो आपने स्टेट एंड सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से कोई एडवांस लिया है, वो भी डिपॉजिट नहीं है. आपने एडवांस लिया है फॉर द सब्सक्रिप्शन टुवर्ड्स पब्लिकेशन, whether in print or electronics, to be adjusted against the receipt of such publications. So you, if you have taken certain newsletters or any magazines that you take and you pay advance for them, so for adjustment will be made as and when you get the publications, it will be adjusted against. So all these amounts, basically, wherever you have taken advance money, against which adjustments have to be made. It's either for the goods and services, 365 days की condition. It's either for your supply of capital, long-term projects, immovable properties, or any advance that you have taken for supplying certain goods and services, or it is for the AMCs, that is annual maintenance contracts, or it is the advance for the publications, or any advance which has been received from central and state government. So 4 plus 3, 7 points you have to remember. Then these amounts will not be considered as a deposit. Provided any amount received under A, B, and D. A, B, and D क्या है? A means supply of goods 365 days. B means immovable property. D means long-term projects. अगर आपने immovable property के लिए, long-term projects के लिए, या फिर purchase of goods के लिए, above becomes funded. So that means some reason has happened. Now the company accepting money does not have the permission to approve to deal with such goods and services. Then the money which is taken, amount received shall deem to be a deposit on the expiry of 15 days from which this money should have been received. अब क्या होगा बेटा? आपने एडवांस लिया एक supply of goods and services के. So say for example, you were dealing in certain electric items and you had to supply them. First 365 days condition, it should have been supplied. Then only this advance will not be treated as deposit. But now suddenly some reason has happened. Your company has stopped dealing in those goods. भाई आप सोच के देखो कि अगर आपकी दुकान बंद हो गई है तो आप पैसे वापस करोगे ना? एडवांस तो दे दो उनका जो जिन्होंने पैसा दिए, कहीं और से अरेंज करना पड़ेगा उन्हें goods. Getting back to English. So if you have not able to pay back the money, if you're not able to give them the goods, then what do you need to give them? You need to give them the money back. So you need to refund the money. Within how many days? Same share application money, 15 days, the money should be refunded. Same in this case, advance money should be refunded back in 15 days. If you have not refunded it, write it down. If you have failed to refund the money, then from the 16th day, this advance that you have received, shall be treated as a deposit. This advance that you have received shall be treated as a deposit. अब उसने कहा था लीगल प्रोसीडिंग्स में एक चीज है, अगर एडवांस जो आपने लिया है that relates to any legal proceedings, then the set time limit of 365 days is not applicable. Means फिर आपने लिमिट नहीं देखनी. सपोज केस चल रहा है कोई, आपने जो मुझे गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज देने थे उसके खिलाफ कोई केस चल पड़ा, लीगल प्रोसीडिंग्स है, then I don't have to see the 365 days. Then whenever you have supplied the goods, it is over. Otherwise, there is a condition of 365 days, then only it is not a deposit. But if it is not what do you call that? If it is a legal proceedings case, then we don't have to see the condition of 365 days. Is this clear? Let me see a question related to this one. Promoters वाला नहीं कर सकते. सेकंड करके देखो. Discuss the following situations. सेकंड कर सकते हो, थर्ड भी नहीं, थर्ड नहीं कर पाओगे, थर्ड एंड फोर्थ नहीं कर पाओगे, सिर्फ ये वाला करो. पोलस्टार ट्रेडर लिमिटेड रिसीव्ड अ लोन ऑफ 30 lakhs फ्रॉम रचना हु इज वन ऑफ द डायरेक्टर्स, एडवाइज वेदर इट इज अ डिपॉजिट और नॉट. जल्दी, सिर्फ सेकंड क्वेश्चन यू हैव टू आंसर. Everyone will answer in the everyone chat box. Very good, Shamli. Public companies do not have deposit. Sangeetvani, excellent. Shraddha, very good. Pooja. Item City, good. Prerna, Ditya, Steffi Joes, Yuvam, everybody is correct. Everyone is correct. Insia, can you explain in English 11th point? Okay, Insia, I will explain you once again. Please just remind me after this question. But Insia, what is the answer for this one? Is it a deposit or not? Absolutely correct, all those who have answered. So how are you going to write it down? See, such a big paragraph I've written for you. Any amount receivable person who is a director or giving loan to the company will not be a deposit. What are the conditions? You forgot the conditions. You have to give a declaration in writing that is not out of the borrowed funds, and the company will disclose these writings. Facts of the case, it is assumed that he was one of the directors. Company has received a loan. It is assumed that we have taken the written declaration and the amount has been disclosed. Therefore, if these conditions are satisfied, children, then only it shall not be treated as deposit. So, ma'am, what we have written in the chat box, yes or no, and public company. So, I will give you 1 out of 3. If you would have written this declaration point, disclosure in board's report, in the provisions and in the conclusions, then I will give you 3 out of 3. That is how you have to learn the answers. Okay, NCR, 11th point, the first point you have not understood. Am I right? So I'm explaining you this point again. Steffi, Josie, Jaya, Manocha, Mustafa, everybody answers are correct. Okay. Okay. So first point says that if any advance money I have received, I am a person who is dealing in the, I am in the business of electrical items. First of all, this advance should be for the business purpose. And you are my dealer, Mr. Insia, and you said that you will be supplying me the goods. I will be supplying you the goods. So I said I will be supplying you the goods in 1 year, Mrs. Insia, and you have gave me the advance 1 lakh rupees. So if I supply you the goods within 1 year time period, then this amount will not be treated as a deposit. But if any legal case is going on in this case, then there is no time limit. Whenever I have supplied the goods, this amount will not be a deposit. Let's complete 2 more points. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. See, such a straightforward question has come in the exam. Enumerate the amounts which have been received by the company in the ordinary course of business, which are not to be considered as deposits. If such a kind of straightforward question comes, you simply have to write according to rule following amounts received in the business, जो हमने अभी पढ़ा 11th point, will not be deposit. Advance 365 days condition, legal proceeding 365 not to be seen, advance for immovable property, advance to be adjusted for the performance, long-term projects, central and state government, future services, AMC contracts, and for the subscription. Also, you will have to write that if three things, A, B, D के case में अगर amount refund नहीं हुआ 15 days में, then it will become a deposit. All right. Let's move to the 12th point. Okay, Insia, good. If you have understood, that's great. Any amount brought in by the promoters of the company. So हमने डायरेक्टर का समझ लिया, डायरेक्टर एंड डायरेक्टर के रिलेटिव का समझ लिया. पब्लिक कंपनी में डायरेक्टर है, यहाँ डायरेक्टर एंड डायरेक्टर. हमने एम्प्लॉय का समझ लिया. एम्प्लॉय की कंडीशन क्या थी? एनुअल सैलरी से एक्सीड नहीं करना एंड इंटरेस्ट नहीं पे करना, नॉन इंटरेस्ट पे. अब प्रमोटर से पैसा ले रहे हैं. प्रमोटर से किस रूप में पैसा ले रहे हैं? अनसिक्योर्ड लोन में ले रहे हैं. किस लिए ले रहे हैं? क्योंकि India, first I will explain them in Hindi and then I will come back to English. Okay, all my South Indian friends. हम प्रमोटर से पैसा ले रहे हैं, अनसिक्योर्ड लोन ले रहे हैं, मीन सिक्योरिटी नहीं दे रहे उसके बदले में कोई, क्योंकि हमें लीडिंग फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन या बैंक से पैसा चाहिए और बैंक ने ये कंडीशन लगाई है कि हम तुम्हें तभी लोन देंगे अगर प्रमोटर या उसका रिलेटिव तुम्हें लोन देता है. ये रिस्ट्रिक्शन स्टिपुलेशन या कंडीशन बैंक ने लगाई है. And it is, this exemption is available only till the loans of the financial institution is repaid. In English, if a company ABC Limited went to a bank and they said, bank, please give us amount of 1 lakh rupees as a deposit, 1 lakh rupees as a borrow. Bank said, first you ask your promoters, they have put this condition, leading financial institutions have put the condition on the promoters to contribute such finance. He said, if we are contributing for your business, ask the promoters also to put in the money in this business. So promoters should also put this money. They either themselves contribute this money or by their relatives. And this amount given by the promoters shall not be considered as deposits till the time the loan of the bank is not repaid. And once it is repaid, then it will become deposits. So what is he trying to tell you? Certain cases where the company is borrowing the money from the banks or big financial institutions, they say that we want the promoter should also invest the money in the company. Why don't you take your money, same amount from the promoters also? So the company will request the promoters to invest certain money because this condition has been imposed by the loan will be brought because the condition, stipulation का मतलब होता है condition. Condition has been imposed by the lending banks. Amount will be given by the promoters or by the relatives. And this exemption means that this amount is not a deposit. This thing is available only till the loan of the bank is not repaid. And not thereafter means once the loans are repaid, once the bank loan or financial institutions loan are repaid, then this promoter's money will be considered as deposits. Then this money paid by the promoters will be considered as deposits. Just read it once. Clear, everyone? Amount from the promoters is clear. Any amount received from Nidhi companies. Now, what is the next one? Any amount received by a Nidhi company according to the rules under section 406, then it is not a deposit. So, Nidhi company कोई भी पैसा ले रही है, उसको section 73 to 76 नहीं लगाना. वो डिपॉजिट नहीं। चिट फंड कंपनीज कोई अमाउंट ले रहे हैं, वो डिपॉजिट नहीं। कलेक्टिव इन्वेस्टमेंट स्कीम्स, ये सेबी के अंडर एक स्कीम्स होती है जहाँ पे कलेक्टिवली मनी इज टेकन लाइक म्यूचुअल फंड्स. They take the money collectively from different investors and they invest it in different funds. So all these collective investment scheme, निधि कंपनीज, चिट फंड्स, एक बारी में ही हो गया, इजी है तीनों पॉइंट्स का. निधि कंपनीज कोई पैसे लेती है, चिट फंड्स वाले कोई पैसा ले रहे हैं, या फिर कलेक्टिव इन्वेस्टमेंट स्कीम है, CIS करके याद कर लेना. एज पर सेबी अगर ले रहे हैं तो दैट इज नॉट अ डिपॉजिट. 17th पॉइंट देखो, इजी है वो भी. Any amount received from the alternate investment funds, domestic venture capital, infrastructure वालों से अगर पैसा मिल रहा है, रियल एस्टेट वालों से मिल रहा है, म्यूचुअल फंड से मिल रहा है. सो एक कंपनी है ABC लिमिटेड, उसको पैसा मिल रहा है. कंपनी इज रिसीविंग this money from such investment funds like the mutual trust, mutual funds, investment trusts, capital funds, alternate investment funds, real estate investment funds. So ये सारे 5 नाम जो funds के दिए हुए हैं, if any amount is received from such kind of institutions, then it is not considered as a deposit. Then it is not considered as a deposit. समझ आते हैं. अब आ जाते हैं लास्ट ट्रिकी पॉइंट ऑफ टुडेज क्लास, एंड आफ्टर दैट वील हैव सर्टेन क्वेश्चंस. आई विल आल्सो गिव यू 5 minutes ब्रेक इन बिटवीन, बट आफ्टर डूइंग 16, जिसको वैसे ही 10-15 मिनट लग जाए. ओके. अमाउंट ऑफ 25 lakh rupees और मोर. कितना पैसा लिया लोन का? 25 लाख या उससे ज्यादा. किसने लिया? स्टार्टअप कंपनी. Who is taking this loan? स्टार्टअप. किस तरह से लिया? By way of convertible note. Means within 10 years this amount will be converted into equity shares or repayable within a period. I am a company ABC Limited and I am a startup company and I have taken a loan of 25 lakhs or 30 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 25 से 25 से ज्यादा. I have taken a loan which I am going to convert into equity or I am going to repay in 10 years from the date of issue. Taken this loan in a single tranche. Single tranche means single transaction of this loan has been done. Then this amount of loan will not be considered as a deposit. Let's read the meaning of startup company first. Which company is taking, ma'am, loan? ऐसी कंपनी जो स्टार्टअप है उसको बोलते हैं प्राइवेट कंपनी, as identified by DPIIT, that is Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. इस डिपार्टमेंट के द्वारा जिसको स्टार्टअप कंपनी कहा जाता है वो होती है स्टार्टअप. मींस इट्स अ प्राइवेट कंपनी. तो ये 16th वाले पॉइंट की प्रोविजन किसको एप्लीकेबल है? सिर्फ एंड सिर्फ प्राइवेट कंपनी को. पब्लिक कंपनी अगर ले रही है 25 लाख लोन ले रही है, फिर वो डिपॉजिट. बट प्राइवेट कंपनी जो एक स्टार्टअप कंपनी है एज पर डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ प्रमोशन एंड ऑफ इंडस्ट्री एंड इंटरनल ट्रेड, वो ले रही है 30 lakhs का सपोज लोन. इस तरीके से ले रही है कि कन्वर्टेबल नोट इशू करे. कन्वर्टेबल नोट मींस द एविडेंसिंग अ डेट which is at the option of the holder repayable or converted into equity shares of the startup company depending upon certain events which are happening. For example, a company has achieved a turnover of 1 crore and they want to repay the money or they want to convert it into equity shares, or the revenue has gone very high. Whatever events has happened and they want to take this decision, then in such a case, it is not considered as a deposit. So फटाफट से मेरे साथ कंडीशंस लिखिए. पहली कंडीशन है कंपनी स्टार्टअप कंपनी होनी चाहिए. स्टार्टअप कंपनी क्या होती है? प्राइवेट कंपनी एज रिकॉग्नाइज्ड बाय DPIIT. सेकेंड पॉइंट, अमाउंट कितने का रिसीव कर रहे हैं? हम लोन नहीं ना यूज करते हम यहाँ पे. बहुत अमाउंट इज 25 लाख और मोर. लिखते जाओ चैट बॉक्स में, अपने आप लिखो पॉइंट्स. अमाउंट रिसीव 25 लाख और मोर बाय दिस स्टार्टअप कंपनी. स्टार्टअप कंपनी क्या है? प्राइवेट कंपनी है जो डीपीआईआईटी द्वारा है रिकॉग्नाइज्ड, एंड उसने क्या रिसीव करे? 25 लाख या उससे ज्यादा अमाउंट रिसीव। कैसे रिसीव करा है? कन्वर्टेबल नोट इशू कर कर। कैसा वाला कन्वर्टेबल नोट? रीपेबल हो जाएगा या कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा इक्विटी में? कितने टाइम में? लिख रहे हो ना चैट बॉक्स में? 10 years। फोर्थ बात बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग है, सिंगल ट्रांचे में रिसीव करा है। सिंगल ट्रांचे मीन्स इन अ सिंगल ट्रांजेक्शन। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ABC Private Limited, which is a startup company, receives 5 lakh in 2023 and 10 lakhs in 2024। क्या इसको सिंगल ट्रांजेक्शन में माना जाएगा? यहाँ पे लगा लो 15। क्या हम ये बोल सकते हैं सिंगल ट्रांजेक्शन? तो ये सिंगल ट्रांजेक्शन में है ही नहीं। सिंगल ट्रांजेक्शन में जो अमाउंट आता है 25 लाख से ज्यादा, that is not a deposit. Here, if you are receiving 15 lakhs in 1 year and 10 lakhs, so any amount less than 25 lakhs is considered as a deposit. Any amount less than 25 lakhs will be considered as a deposit. And it should be received in a single transaction. Then only it is exempt. If it is received in a separate transactions, then it is not exempt. Understood? निधि कंपनी, चिट फंड्स एंड इन कलेक्टिव इन्वेस्टमेंट स्कीम, इनसे कोई पैसा रिसीव होता है, डिपॉजिट है कि नहीं है? यस और नो? एवरीबडी इज करेक्ट, नहीं। 25 lakhs or more received by startup company by way of convertible loans which are repaid in 10 years. Startup means a private company recognized by Department for Promotion. Convertible note means which is converted at the option of the holder either into equity shares or it is repaid. Let's see this example number 3. Greenwood Limited, the company which is registered as the startup company, has received 20 lakhs and 10 lakh on different dates by way of convertible. Now, though the company has exceeded more than 25 lakhs, but the amount will be considered as a deposit since the amount has not been received in the single transaction. Since the amount has not been received in the single transaction. So I give you the example. ABC Private Limited, which is considered as the startup company, has received 30 lakh rupees on 3rd June 23 by way of convertible note. डिपॉजिट है कि नहीं? यस और नो? From city value say yes, no is the correct answer. डिपॉजिट नहीं है, क्यों? क्योंकि वही स्टार्टअप कंपनी है, 25 लाख से ज्यादा है, कन्वर्टेबल नोट आया है तो नहीं। इफ 3 lakh on 1st February 23 and 24 lakhs on 2nd March 23, डिपॉजिट है yes or no? Why? Because single transaction में receive नहीं। Why you writing not deposit, Shraddha? Then it is a deposit, beta. Mustafa, then it is considered as a deposit. Since the aggregate amount of 25 lakhs is not received in a single transaction, therefore it will be considered as a deposit. Okay, for the first one, it's which language is this Paribasu tranche? So, Mustafa, this is the legal language which they try to understand and make acceptance of deposits more interesting. So, are you learning? We have done 16 things which are not considered as deposits. I'm going to give you 5 minutes small break because I know you have to absorb the information and then be ready for the MCQs and the question answers. Let's take a small 5 minutes break. Okay. All right. I hope you have read the points from the module. Any doubts, first of all? Student, in today's class, we will only be doing these 16 points, which are not deposits, and we'll be doing the questions. All right. And then we will be doing the questions. And at the next class, we will be starting. I'll show you what we are going to do in the next class. So once we have completed the amounts which are not to be considered as deposits, then we proceed towards who is a depositor, what are the prohibitions on accepting the deposits from public, means what all you need to do when you need to take the deposits from public. And then there are certain prohibitions. Now, Section 73 is very long. But the best part is once you have done Section 73, Section 76 is a replicate of Section 73. So 73, 76, 74 and 76 से हम नेक्स्ट क्लास में करेंगे जो हमारी वेडनेसडे को है. आज हम करेंगे जो हमने पढ़ा है उसके बेस पे क्वेश्चन आंसर्स. जल्दी बताओ, कोई डाउट्स तो नहीं है? यस नो चैट बॉक्स में भी नहीं लिख रहे हो, मतलब नहीं है डाउट्स, है ना? आगे चल सकते. ये कर लिया हमने शेयर एप्लीकेशन वाला. क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 करो, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग. प्रमोटर्स ऑफ ग्रीन लिमिटेड yes Mustafa, there might be 2 marks or there can be 3 marks case study. अभी मैं कराऊंगी आपको questions Mustafa, then you count. Promoters of Green Limited contributed in the form of unsecured loan for the fulfillment of the margin money requirements stipulated by State Industries Development Corporation for granting you. Please tell us what are the rules whether this unsecured loan will be a deposit or not. Raise your hands and answer me this one. You can refer to the book, but raise your hands and answer. But don't read it from the book. You can refer it to the book, then raise your hands. How are you going to answer? Yes, Yumam. Very good.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
So, ma'am, in this case, since the promoter of Green Limited has given the amount in form of unsecured loan and by the conditions imposed by the State Industry Development Corporation, so therefore such amount will not be deposit. It can be it can be a deposit only when such a loan of the SIDCL is repaid.
Excellent, Yumam. So can I understand that you have done it today in the class? That is how you have understood. And I hope you have not done it before.
Yes, ma'am. I have done it today only.
So I give you 2 stars. Well done. Very proudly, you have spoken the answer very well. So very nice answer given by Yubam. Unsecured loan, first point you will write. Second point, you will say the condition has been made by SIDCL. Third, promoters are giving this contribution because of this condition. Fourth, till the time period this loan is not repaid, it will be considered as deposit. Once it is, it will not be considered as deposit. Once it is repaid, then it will be considered as deposit. Everybody is clear? Shall we move to the next one? And all the answers in the chat box are also correct. Now you can do whole of the question number 4. No, just the first and say. Second part you have done, just do the first. Samit, one of the directors of ZAR Technology Private Limited. So don't get confused, it's just the name of a company. एक director है Samit और ये company एक startup company है. Has requested his close friend Ritesh to lend the money to the company 30 lakhs in a single tranche by way of convertible note, which is to be repayable in 6 years. Whether it is a deposit or not, raise your hands and answer me. Analyze first point, and then raise your hands and answer. Good, Anubhav, but I would want you people to raise your hands and answer. Jaya Manoja, it is a financial institution only. They have set a condition stipulated by that. So that will be correct, okay? Navneet, Maurya, and Anubhav, both of you are correct. Who is going to raise their hands and explain me the points? If you assume me, you're correct, but who needs to raise the hand? Deepika, Shamli, who will raise their hands and explain? Prerna, Adil. Again, Yuvam has raised his hand. Why not others? Yes, Prerna, answer me.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Uh, so the conditions, amount, it should be a startup company is fulfilled. Amount of 25 lakh or more should be received by the startup bank. Then the
It should be
it should
converted
be
by way of convertible
it
loan
should be by the way of convertible note,
within a
and
period.
within a period of 10 years it should be converted into equity or it should be prepaid, and it should
In
be
a
in a single
single transaction.
transaction.
Hmm.
So here it is fulfilled and company has received the 30 lakh in a single tranche. So, and it is also convertible note and repaid within the period of 6 years. Therefore,
It is a deposit or not?
therefore it is a not deposit.
Are you sure? Any amount less than 25 lakhs is not a deposit. So that means any amount exceeding
Okay.
25 lakhs, it's a 30 lakhs in a single transaction. Therefore, yes, it shall be.
Definitely.
The amount of 30 lakhs will not be considered as a deposit. Let's read the answer now. Okay, very good, Prerna. All the points are correct. Let's read it out. A startup company has received 25 lakhs or more. So more amount is not the deposit. Yes, correct. More amount is not the deposit. It will not be treated as deposit provided you have received it in a single tranche. So here all the conditions as mentioned by Prerna were correct. So Prerna, your answer was correct. Startup company, 30 lakhs, single tranche, convertible note. And you will write this that within 6 years, that is within 10 years, note has to be repayable within a period of 10 years from the date of issue. Therefore, 30 lakhs shall not be treated as a deposit. All right, everybody is correct. So Anubhav and Navneet, your answer was not correct. I think because it is single tranche 30 lakhs. Okay, no problem. Those who have written mic problem, loud problem, not an issue to use for me. Everyone is now clear why it is not a deposit. सबको समझ आ गया ना? Okay. चलो ये वाला करो. Vrinda Limited. I give you 2 minutes. Read the question and write the answers in the chat box. Take 2 minutes. Everyone should write the answer in the chat box. Read it very carefully. It's a very simple question. We have done it in the class. Don't write no, ma'am, yes, ma'am, Savya Khan, Aditya. I've given you 2 minutes. Express your thoughts. Write it down. Harivansh, no, ma'am. 30 lakhs is the limit, Aditya says. Okay, ये कहाँ पे पढ़ा हमने 30 lakhs is the limit? On strict plan, start the manufacturing of 10 more candies, has raised 1 crore, non-convertible debentures, not having a charge, listed on the stock exchange. Advise whether 1 crore is a deposit or not. बहुत easy है. Startup 15 lakhs? ये क्या बोलते जा रहे हो दित्या? आप wrong. Okay, good, Yuvam. Yes, Anubhav.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, as per Rule 2 of Companies Acceptance of Deposit Rules 2014, any amount issued by way of non-convertible debentures which are unsecured and which are unsecured and it is a listed company on any of the recognized stock exchange and that is to be not be considered as a deposit.
So you will write this provision and then you will say facts of the case. This is what is given, that 1 crore is non-convertible, non-issue, non-secured but listed. Therefore, since the third point is being made, that is non-secured, non-convertible and listed, therefore it is not a deposit. Paper में ये दोनों points लिख कर आने हैं. And here are 2 stars for you also, Anubhav. Well done.
Thank you.
Good. All right. So next question. सबको समझ आ गया ना ये वाला? ये हम कर चुके हैं. What are the cases when it is not considered as deposit? ये हमने अभी करा नहीं है. I think हो गए questions क्या? Let me see. Let me see if we have more questions. Might be have. Aditya, your answers were not correct. Let's see how well you perform in MCQs now. Let's do some MCQs from the module. Okay, nobody is going to cheat and look into the answers. Varsha Limited decided to raise deposits of 20 lakhs from its members. However, it proposes to secure the deposits partially by offering a security of 15 lakh. Which of the following best describes such deposits? Is it a fully secured deposit, unsecured, partially secured, or these are not classified as deposits? What will be the correct answer? I told you in the beginning, Riya, Adil, Shamli, very good, Ashilesha, Tyusami, Pooja, Navneet, Yuvam. Yuvam, check your answer. Anubhav, Aditya, Prajapati, good. Steffi, Jose, no. Savya Khan. So what will be the correct answer? Everybody tell me. Who is going to tell me why it is unsecured or why it is partially secured? Who is going to give me the correct answer? Who is going to tell me? I told you in the beginning, if I'm giving you 50 lakhs के लिए मैंने 10 lakhs cash दी है और बाकियों के लिए नहीं दिए, तो partially secured deposits are also considered as unsecured deposits. So all those who have given B is the correct answer. That is unsecured deposit. So B is the correct answer, unsecured deposits. Next one, what is the maximum period? This you have not done. This also you have not done. This also you have not done. This is the same question which has come in the exam. The amounts that have been received. What will you write over here? Okay, let me give you a question related to advance. This all 4 questions we have done. Yes, this one we can do. Because, I don't want to confuse you with the more content. Once we'll start that topic, section 73, it'll take a lot of time. Let's do the 7th question. 5 lakh raised by Rishi Confectioners Limited. Non-convertible debentures है, non-constituting charge है, but listed on the stock exchange. Yes and no में answer करते जाओ. Deposit है कि नहीं है? Very good, very good. No is the correct answer for this one. Excellent. 2 lakh received by Raja Yarns from its employees, Mr. Tarun, who withdraws an annual salary of 1,50,000 as a non-interest bearing under the contract of employment. So number 1, it should not be exceeding annual salary. Ma'am, it is not exceeding. Number 2, it should be non-interest. Ma'am, it is not interest. As per the contract of employment, yes, ma'am. So is it a deposit or not a deposit? Jaya Manoja said yes. Mustafa said yes. Navneet says yes. Are you sure? Aditya, can you explain me why yes? Reason kya hai? Because it is exceeding the annual salary. Annual salary is 1,50,000, and if you're exceeding, so 2,50,000 you have exceeded, then it is a deposit. If he has received 1,48,000 from its employee and the rest of the question remains same, then what have been your answer? Then no, ma'am, is the correct answer. Let's do the 3rd one. 3 lakh received by a private company from one of the relatives of a director, and he has given a declaration that the amount received by him from his mother as a gift. ध्यान से बताना मुझे 3rd वाला, और मुझे reason चाहिए. Anyone can raise their hands and explain me this point, please. Navneet Maurya, finally your turn, huh? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Actually, ma'am, if a public company accepting money from a director and not with relative, then it will not be deposit. Okay. But if a private company accepting deposit from relative or director, it will be considered as deposit. It will not be considered deposit.
It will not be considered. But what was the condition that you have to give?
Condition, ma'am, in case a private company received from both director or relative, it will not be considered as deposit.
वो ठीक है. Okay, let's hear Yubam. Jaya Manocha has also raised her hand. Okay, first Yubam.
Ma'am, in case
Yes,
of a private company, if the amount is received from the director or from the relatives of the director, the amount so received shall not be deposit, provided that the director has given the declaration stating that the amount so deposited is out of his own funds and not out of borrowings.
Excellent, Yubam. I don't know why others are not thinking about this point. Jaya Manocha, why did you put your hand down? I would want you also to speak, Jaya. Okay, good, Yubam. Yes, Jaya.
Ma'am, my answer is same, that state, and it should be reported in the board report, in the
So
board
है कि
meeting. It
नहीं है
should
ये
be
तो बता
disclosed properly.
कंक्लूड तो कर दो बच्चा, है कि नहीं है? Is it a
Ma'am,
deposit?
it is a deposit, as we assume that it is
Excellent.
disclosed in the meeting, as well as the second condition declaration has been given.
Excellent. Well done, Jaya Manocha, and well done, Yubam. So the first case, you will write down this single transferable upon. ये तो हमने sorry 6th कर रहे थे ना हम? नहीं, हम 7th कर रहे थे. ये आंसर दोगे आप? Not considered. ठीक था आपका. More than considered. The relative has given the declaration that he has borrowed the money. Then it will not be considered as deposit. But since the relative of private company will not be considered if he has given a declaration that he is giving from their own funds. Therefore, the money has been out of the gifted one. One of the relatives is given, therefore it is not a deposit. There is some glitch over here, which I'll just rectify and let you know in the next class. Otherwise, what we have discussed is absolutely correct. Okay. So whether it is from your director or a relative of a private company, and then it is not a deposit, provided that you have given a declaration that yes, the amount that you're giving is not out of the borrowed funds, and this declaration that the amount is not out of the borrowed funds. So it was a gifted one. It was not out of the borrowed funds. He has not taken a loan. So on the basis of that, you can say that not it is a deposit. At the same time, if you say that the gifted one was just to take a loan, we are borrowing from someone just to lend you, then it is yes, a deposit. So it depends upon what kind of assumption that you have used in order to conclude your answer. Your concept should be absolutely clear. Yes, Anubhav, the last line is correct because it's not a borrowing, so it is. Pooja says one of the gifted money or one of the relative is not a deposit, then it's fine. So not a deposit is one thing that we have concluded. Accordingly, you will have to give a assumption if you change the answer. So I hope you have enjoyed today's class. We have done numerous examples, MCQs also, and we have learned the concept. My humble request to all of you, yes, it is not a deposit, Mustafa. That is what we just concluded, right? Because we are saying it's not a borrowing. We're saying it's just a money that someone has gifted us. All right. Thank you very much. Please revise it and see you all on Wednesday now, and we will complete the chapter. Theosumi, you'll have to check with the admin about the income tax class, okay? Thank you. Thank you, Prajapati, Prerna, Adil, Shamli. Thank you so much, all of you. Let's conclude the class and see you all on Wednesday. Yuvam, Aditya, Shraddha, Naveen. Thank you, all of you. God bless. Goodbye. All right, sir, we are done. Yes.